wanted to use
Really sure.
And so, as Dean Robert Vischer of the University of St. Thomas Law School has observed, quote, "The tension between religious liberty and gay rights is a thorny problem that will continue to crop up in our policy debates for the foreseeable future. Dismissing religious liberty concerns as the progeny of a separate but equal mindset does not bode well for the future course of those debates." Dean Vischer is absolutely correct. It does not bode well at all. In fact, his way of stating it puts it mildly. But there is, in my opinion, no chance of persuading champions of sexual liberation, and it should be clear by now that this is the cause that they truly serve. The long series of quotations that I gave you from contemporary prominent supporters of this view reinforce that. There's no chance of persuading champions of sexual liberation that they should respect or permit the law to respect the conscience rights of those with whom they disagree. Look at it from their point of view. Why should we permit full equality, our goal of full equality as they conceive it, to be trumped by bigotry? What could justify that? Why should we recognize a right to discriminate? What kind of a right is that? Why should we respect religion and religious institutions that are, quote, incubators of homophobia, unquote? Bigotry, religiously based or not, must be eradicated. The law should certainly not give it recognition or lend it any standing or dignity. Why should those who hold bigoted views be permitted to hold faculty positions at colleges, universities, or law schools? Why should they even be permitted to speak or to be heard on campus? You might remember the efforts to deny Ryan Anderson, a brilliant and wonderfully civil, impressive young advocate of conjugal marriage. You might remember the efforts to bar him from speaking at Stanford because his very presence, they said, would pose a threat to people. Outrageous, you might say. But that's now mainstream. Why should such people be tolerated in print or broadcast media, whether news or entertainment, or in law firms, or in the corporate world? Brendan Ike. Now, of course, people who hold conservative views on moral issues have long experienced discrimination in all of these areas. But until recently, the discriminators felt it necessary to pretend that they didn't practice discrimination. They would come up with some pretext. So a professor isn't advanced to tenure because he hasn't published enough stuff, or his work isn't quite good enough, or it isn't published in just the right journals, when the reality was they didn't like the guy's views. Hypocrisy was the tribute that vice paid to virtue, but it is no longer a tribute needing to be paid. Now they feel free to flat out say, Ryan Anderson's very presence on our campus poses a threat to people. Let his voice not be heard. Why are there no moral conservatives on your faculty? Well, in the old days, they would say, oh, it must be because they aren't bright or accomplished enough. Or, this was a good one, I always liked this one. Well, they actually love money more than ideas, so they gravitate toward business, not academic life. We're not keeping them out, they just don't want to come in. Or, gosh, I don't know, what a mystery. Why are there so few people in Hollywood who hold or reveal that they hold conservative views on moral questions? Oh, well, that's another one of those impenetrable mysteries, really just beats me. I mean, it's not as if there's a blacklist or anything, right? But increasingly, it is and will be unnecessary to dissemble or maintain these pretenses. The answer will simply be, we don't tolerate bigots around here. Get out of town.